if there's one thing that this morning's sessions taught us, it's that technology is revolutionizing retail and the way that brands deliver digital experiences, also enabling them to meet the demands of the modern consumer and future-proof their businesses for whatever comes next. But the path to modernization isn't always straightforward, and neither is a full-scale re-platform always the best approach. In this next session, you're going to hear from The Very Group, one of the UK's largest multi-brand online retailers, on why they decided to take an iterative development approach to modernisation. So please join me in welcoming back to the stage, Brian McMahon.
I'd like to welcome back to the stage Mukhtar Mahama from The Very Group. It does seem a bit weird to be in a nightclub at this time of the day and without a drink, but let's.
I've got one.
You've got a drink. Good stuff. Beth kind of mentioned it in the intro, but you've gone on a journey at The Very Group over the last little while, and you've chosen an iterative approach to that journey, step by step. Would love to hear a little bit about the journey you've taken and why did you choose an iterative approach to the implementation?
Afternoon and hello again. Before I go into the detail about the iterative approach we've taken, I just want to maybe go back a bit and talk to you about why we chose to do the change in the first place. So in the intro you heard, for those who don't know, I work at Very. We are the biggest online-only retailer in the UK. We have our own financial services product that offers our customers flexible ways to buy. We have 3 brands. So the Very Group our parent brand is Very.co.uk. We have our heritage brand Littlewood, which most of you will know, and then we have Very.ie, which is our proposition in Ireland. Now, all 3 brand fascias are important to us, and all of those brands are served by a legacy platform we call ATG. Some of you would have heard of that before. I know John Lewis have now turned off ATG. We can't wait to do the same. So we sit on ATG, and it's served us incredibly well over the last 15 or so years. ATG has helped us be a business turning over around 2.3 billion a year. But as time's gone on, it's just become very, very complex to make change on that platform. Really, really difficult. We have to still bring that platform down for around 6 hours to make a change on it, believe it or not. And it's become a burning platform. Oracle announced they are in the process of, stopping support for the version of ATG we're on. And it's an on-prem platform, so it only gets better if you make it better. Our whole business logic, our whole CMS, our whole data layer, and our presentation layer is all tied into the same platform. So it's really difficult to make change on it. So like I say, it's now a burning platform for us. At the same time, we had a really big burning ambition to be able to really create experiences for our customers at pace. But we couldn't do it as fast as we wanted on ATG. That's why we chose to go down the Mac route or the modular/composable architecture route. In doing so, we are able to now partner with best-of-breed providers in a number of areas. Maya talked earlier around the journey Clarks have gone on. We're doing something similar. We're ripping it all out and replacing it with a load of different things. So we've got Amplin serving our CMS. We selected a company called Constructor, who are powering our discovery. Talk a bit more about it shortly. We're changing our whole identity and access management. We're partnering with our AWS Cognito to do that. And our commerce part of the journey is going to be supported by a company called Commerce Tools. We are a multi-brand, multi-category business. So our iterative approach really started with running this as a commercial program. For us, it's not a tech-for-tech migration. We really wanted to start driving value from day dot. So every change we wanted to put live, we want to measure the impact it's had on our customers and the key metrics we care about. So we started small. We chose to focus on the upper funnel. That's where most of our traffic comes. That's where most of our customers land. That's where customers try to discover products. And that's where they push their ways through down the funnel. So we started with search. We pushed searching for 1% of our customers. In doing so, we're able to measure search conversion, how is search improving, our customers getting relevant information when they come and look for products. Is it easy for them? Is the site stable? Are our colleagues able to merchandise properly? And then when we gather feedback, we'll ramp that up to about 5%. and so on and so on. So we did that till we got to 100% of search being live. We did the same for PDPs. In fact, for the PDPs, we took a different approach. For the PDPs, we started by category. We started with the smallest category, with the smallest SKUs, with the smallest variants. So that was toys for us. It's 1,500 products we had in that space. Put all of those live, measured its impact on at the basket rate, got comfortable with the change, and then ramped up the change again. So the approach we took really allowed us to, like I say, understand the impact from day one, understand how customers were responding to it, understand how our colleagues were responding to it, and make sure that it was actually delivering the value that we baked in from day dot. And if it didn't, we'd iterate before we move forward again. So that's what that's the approach we took for migration.
And the key benefits, speed, the ability to get things live quicker, your team's kind of productivity gains, those types?
Absolutely. I think I talk about the challenges with ATG and making change and how complex it is. A simple change like a price change on a static page, will require you to bring the website down to make a change, right? Part of the modular approach we've taken is, the velocity increasing significantly. We're now able to make multiple changes in day and release them to customers without them feeling it at all. And that's the world we want to be in. Our customers demand a lot from us, and we want to be able to react fast to that. So part of it is definitely that, flexibility and the velocity increasing.
So is there specific key use cases that you started with to go first and then move from there?
Yeah, I think those use cases are probably in a lot of lenses we can look at it at. Like I said, when we kicked off the migration, we wanted to understand, what problems are we going to solve through this? It's easy to look at it as moving from one tech platform to the other. But like I say, we need to be conscious that a customer is going to use this at the end of the day. So what problems are we trying to solve? And through those problems, it will allow us to choose the right partner to partner with to do so. So one of the problems we identified was discovery. So we know our customers through feedback and through research are looking for relevant products. They want ease of finding products, whether that's through search, recommendations, or browse. So we went through a really, really thorough, probably the most thorough RFP process I've been through to select the partner of choice constructor who power our discovery experience now. So that was one of the use cases. The other use case we identified was for our colleagues, actually. For the longest time, our colleagues have been rate limited by the amount of content changes we can make. We had a technical team who had to manage content for us, and it just wasn't sustainable. We had something we called a tracker. For want of a better word, it's a glorified spreadsheet where you have all your change requests on there, and then you post it through a team to go, these are the changes I want to make. And you get, we can't do that because we have a load of different changes we need to make for other teams as well. So why don't we start to federate that change? So choosing Amplience and partnering with Amplience gave us that flexibility and the level of control our teams needed to manage content at pace. Now, that's obviously created another headache because everyone wants to change content. And we're a regulated business. We want to make sure there's some level of governance around it, and we are able to at least have some control around who manages content and who doesn't. Now, one of my reasons for being here today, other than to see the great people at Amplience, is to talk to some of your other partners and really understand how you are managing this internally. So if you have any ideas, I'd love to hear it during the break, please.
Yeah, I know when we talked about this recently, the change management piece, people going from the old version to the new version, power comes great responsibility, as we were saying. You've got to have access to do quite a lot more now. So I know you're looking at how those processes work, how you can keep an eye on all of what's going on, make sure that they are empowered to do the right things, but you still have a lot of needs for risk aversion, etc.
Exactly that. As I say, a simple content change, especially in our financial services side of the organization, it needs to be audited, right? We need to be able to evidence why we made the change, when the change happened, the impact it had on customers, etc. So it's one thing having a brilliant tool like Amplience for content management, but in our use case, different teams will have different responsibilities in the tool, and we want to make sure it's being done responsibly. not to say no one, someone's going to have a sinister approach to using it, but we want to make sure there's a level of control that we are putting around this. So that governance is really, really key for us. But also, it's good practice, right? We don't want to have a team in place checking everything, but we also don't want to give full control to everyone to just make any change they want anytime they want to. I think it's a fine balance, and what we are trying to do now is find what that is. So if anyone's got a silver bullet, I would love to take it.
And you mentioned a number of different vendors that you work with, all part of the Mac Alliance. So you've kind of gone down a road of looking at Mac and how do Mac principles kind of help you in looking at how you do your implementation and who you work with.
Yeah, I think we touched on this briefly earlier. I think the biggest thing that we get from the composable or Mac approach and the modular approach for Mac is very much I see it as plugging in Lego pieces to create to create something amazing, and it's that flexibility. That flexibility is key for us. It's single-handedly the reason we wanted to make this change. We want to be able to react to customer demands as quickly as possible. Having that approach does that, for one. We are able to partner with best-of-breed providers in a number of areas. I've mentioned a few of them briefly, but just to give you a bit of another idea, one of the reasons we chose AWS Cognito is not only will they allow us to provide a seamless sign-in experience for our customers, one of the things that we're looking to implement as a retailer is MFA, or two-factor authentication, for want of a better word. And that's to combat fraud, as an example. So again, it's solving some significant customer problems for us where, we would get a customer calling us to say, I've not ordered this, but it seems to have been placed. We can stop that. So yes, we're selecting a partner for a technology transformation, but again, the approach we've taken has meant that we're able to choose the best of the best. So flexibility is one. The ability to be able to react and pivot is really, really key. This morning, for those who were here, we talked about how technology changes and how do you get ready for the next trend to come. And this is it. This approach allows you to do that. If you set the foundation right, you're able to choose, the partner of choice when the need arises. And yeah, that's easily one of the reasons why Mac is a choice of platform for us.
Yeah, and moving into the kind of future-looking side of it, you've been doing quite a bit with AI as well. I know we talked a little bit about it on the panel session earlier, but I know you've been doing some experimentation. You've been trying a number of different items out, looking at different use cases and how you can leverage AI within the team. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, yeah, absolutely. We do a number of things in AI at the Very Group. I guess firstly, I talked about the discovery platform we have. All of our customers who come to use our discovery experiences will now see really relevant and tailored experiences for them. It's great. We've never been in this space before. And the best part is commercially, it's improving our search conversion, it's improving our product progression to product, and it's improving our recommendations conversion as well. So it's win-win. It's delivering the right products for the customer, and it's in turn giving us the right value as well. So that's great. The next thing we're looking at within that is how we start to feed our own customer data in terms of segmentation of customer information into the tool. So you give it another layer of information to go, well, if you know this customer tends to behave this way, how do you make that experience even more relevant for them? So we're doing that. Recently, we dabbled in generative AI. So we talked a bit about it this morning. For most retailers, one of the challenges has always been good product data. And how you make sure you have consistent data across the PDPs and other parts of the experience. So we've started to, feed a model some product attributes and an image for it to generate some descriptions for us where we have gaps. Now that's going well, and obviously, you showed us the Content Studio and the same capability you have, which ties into our workflow and our processes. So it's definitely one that obviously we are exploring together. And looking forward to where we land with that.
Yeah, and I think from our perspective, I think we've got a great partnership together. You've been with us for a long time, so I think were one of the first companies that got to look at the new product and give some feedback and give some UX feedback. So that's been a great process for us to go through. And I know Mark's going to take a look at the image studio later on. Shout out to Ollie's session in a little while to see some of the image studio pieces. So interested to see how we can help with some of the image studio pieces as well. So outside of AI, then, you know, digital strategy, evolution, consumer needs. What other things are you looking at Very? What's the future hold? What are some other strategies that you're employing?
Yeah, right. The biggest one for us right now, I talk about our uniqueness being our own financial service proposition that, you know, gives customers the flexibility to buy products on BNPL for 6, 9, or 12 months, or, you know, be able to buy a product and pay it off within 3 months without paying any interest at all. We own that financial proposition. We understand how customers use it. We have all that data. We also own the retail side of it as well. We understand how customers buy our products, the brands they shop, etc. How do we bring the two things together and create magic for our customers, right? So that's the next thing for us. From a strategic perspective is how do we really start to bring that whole financial service proposition and resale proposition together? And based on the platform we're on now, how do we leverage that to start to really evolve it to deliver a far, far better outcome for our customers?
Super stuff. And Muck has the ask out there. He wants to chat some more to the customers today on process and how you're using Amplience. So we'll introduce you to a few people as we discussed. And yeah, just want to thank you again, Muck, for your time and for, you know, talking us through the path with Very.
Thank you so much.